Hi everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 11th episode of Kanata no Astra. And last episode, they gave us a bit of a history lesson. So basically, I did rewatch all that to try to get a better, at least, understanding of what's going on here. So it seems like our guys and Paulina have are from two different timelines that branched off at the point of World War III, right? So big difference there, but the fact that they ran into Paulina at all, that would of course mean the wormhole didn't just travel distance, but shifted them into a different timeline. Her timeline, right? So wouldn't that mean even if they get back to Astra, it's not really their Astra, it's like hers, so it would be quite a bit different than the home that they know. Unless I'm really misunderstanding something, wouldn't that be the case? So that's one thing that I've figured out, or at least think is a thing. But secondly, the biggest mystery that they talked about, like the thing that still doesn't make sense to any of them, was the fact that like 6 years is not really enough time to fully colonize a place, and these people obviously never heard of Earth or anything like that, so it really can't have been a recent thing. So, and when that first came out, the first thing that came to mind was maybe they traveled forward in time through the wormhole, right? You know, maybe everyone they know from Earth is dead and they really could have a new start. So that's a possibility as well. However, another possibility that came to mind was maybe in their timeline, Earth was abandoned earlier for a different reason, so they made much faster progress on the whole Exodus thing. They probably left Earth several decades before any asteroid or anything came by. So that's another thought that came to mind. So yeah, after rewatching that and thinking about it, those are some kind of thoughts I have floating around my head. So, also Shars. Yeah, last episode we found out that Shars is the saboteur, the infiltrator, whatever you want to call it. And I also rewatched like that episode where he talked about his backstory and stuff because it would be relevant to this episode. I assume we'll learn more about it. And, you know, he's directly pretty connected to Arius, who is still the biggest mystery of the show. By far, that's still the biggest mystery of the show, unless you count like the overall political history situation, all that stuff that still hasn't been fully fleshed out. But aside from that, Arius is the biggest mystery, because in the one meeting where the parents were all pretty concerned about where they were discussing, you know, abandoning the search and all that, Arius's mother was very noticeably the only one that seemed to care at all. Like, she very much seemed genuinely sad and wanted to continue searching, so she really definitely is not a part of any of this stuff, but yet Arius is still aboard. Like, seemingly the only person aboard this trip that's not, like, it doesn't seem like she was put there to die by the mother, basically. So that makes me wonder why she's here, exactly, and what her deal is. Like, what happened with her after she separated from Shars? Is she a clone of Sarah, or is she actually the only one that's not a clone? I just have several questions, you know, about a lot of that stuff. But Shars, it was interesting because, you know, we watched that Shars episode. At the end, well, near the end of that part of it, he was looking at a picture of what I thought was Sarah at the time, you know, saying sorry. And the sorry makes more sense if we think about it like he's on this mission to essentially kill Arius, so that would certainly be a thing you'd want to apologize for. But after looking at the picture, it's really hard to tell, but she looks definitely older than Arius would have been back then, so it makes me think that wasn't a picture of her. Maybe that was a picture of, like, the original of her, or the mother, which, you know, like the one that actually looks more like Arius, because Arius's mother didn't look much like her compared to the other parents and children because they were clones, so there could be more adoption there that we don't know about. At least I don't think they mentioned her being adopted. I might have missed that, but I don't think they ever mentioned that. But that could be a thing as well. So yeah, just wanted to throw out a bunch of thoughts I've had just now. So, well, thoughts I've gathered up recently, throwing out now before I get into it, because we're obviously going to get more answers here, so I want to get that out real quick. So yeah, Shars is about to explain kind of what's going on with him. We did learn that he's the clone of the king, which if you're a king, that's pretty good candidate for wanting to make a clone of yourself so you could continue to rule. So yeah, hopefully we can get some information about why Shars is doing this, why he thinks this is a job worth doing, and yeah, pretty much that kind of thing. So let's just get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Yes, please do. Why are you trying to kill all of us? I thought we were friends, family. And opening? Opening. Arias always so cheerful. And her upside down name. Just Luke and Olga so buddy-buddy in the opening. Not sure why Shars and Unify are together in that bit, but other pairings it makes sense. Just Kitori. Kitori, I am going to miss you so much when this show is over. Oof. Now you've had all this time in the opening to plan what you're going to say, Shars, so give it to us. Sounds kind of cool. Man, this is like a beautiful cave. But here we go. Confession. Yeah, just no secrets there. I can't decide if that's better or worse than keeping it secret. Uh, yeah, biology. A princess. I guess that's something. But it's a big world out there. Well, yeah. Wow. For the last little bit of your life, you have my permission to make some friends, you know, go for it. Aren't I so kind? No. It would be so hard just to find the motivation to live a life at all if you knew what the end result would be. Just being a vessel for someone. That is pretty tragic. But what if you are the clone of the king? Doesn't it give you some power? Eh, probably not. Well, there's gotta be some truth to that. Uh, there's no way that was all made up, though. There's just no way. A little bit. I feel like there's something wrong with that way of thinking. Uh, oh, that fire. That's some good-looking fire. Is that real? Uh, Come on, Shars. What are you gonna do, Kanata? Never underestimate Kanata. Yeah, you had fun here. You cared about us regardless of what you say. It's not true, Shars. You were permitted to make friends, remember? Did he retract? I just assumed it ran out of time or something. Was it just a matter of second thoughts? Because that changes everything. That makes a big difference. Oh, wow. Well, where's a different reason? Oh. Okay. That makes sense. I can buy that. Is he trying to keep her alive alone? Return with her. I see how it is, Shars. See, I definitely knows who she was, which I figured he did. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that one. It's just so unnoticeable. Oh. Oh, was that the princess he mentioned? Oh. Okay. But she definitely looks older in that picture, though. Personal aid. Yeah, definitely a little bit different than the story he gave us. That's a bit of an odd situation. Daughter/sister kind of thing. So yeah, I guess Arias would just be a clone of her then. Hashtag clone lives matter. Okay, we are talking about it. Where is she right now? It probably doesn't take much to clone someone who's a little bit of DNA. Yeah, like, it's hard to defend against that. There's the clone, same age. Surrogate mother. So yeah, I guess she is adopted then. Well, the clone is. It's a little bit too late now, it already exists. Man, that's really hard to argue against. Like, if cloning her could prevent you from losing your mother, how would you feel about it? Like, that is a strong argument. This is where it begins. Then yeah, she definitely wouldn't remember anything about any of this. So then, how did she get on this ship? I guess things were just forced out of her control. Just give her my name backwards, it'll be great. Nobody will ever figure it out. Oh my god, really? Just, okay. It works, sure. Then we're off. And everyone would have guessed Arias was royalty, sort of. Yeah, we're not gonna go through that again. It's kind of hard to stop the king. Yeah, I get what you mean. We saw a little bit of that in the cave. Yeah, that's a beautiful place, though. Doesn't make the situation any less tragic, but it is a beautiful place. 1 year before the camp. Okay, we're getting closer. It's a nice tree, Sarah. I wasn't there, I couldn't tell you. Not everyone has photographic memory. That does sound pretty cool. So weird just seeing her without the things on her head. I know it's not Arias, but still. Somebody was lurking in the bushes. Assassination attempt? Hopefully not. Oh god, no! Sarah! So this part was sort of true from the story. At least... Well, damn. Oh god, that's not survivable. Oh god, she was so sweet too. Oh, that is so horrible. He is sent to death eventually. Well, damn. I was wondering what would happen with Sarah, but wasn't ready for that. One day, a bit of a time skip. Basically, lived the life in a cell, literally right before the camping trip. That's been a pretty big step up. Just so desperate for a purpose. Sure, so I really can't be too mad at you after all this. But why is she on the ship? I didn't quite get into that. Well, that much I guessed, but did not guess all the royalty stuff. Aww. But why is she on the ship, though? I didn't get that answer, I don't think. Because there's no original, so there's no issue with that. So there's no reason to kill her at all that I can think of. Is it just a coincidence? The show has not had coincidences so far, so... Oh, there's the thingies on her head. Oh, that's so cute. Oh god, that's so cute. Ugh. There's no way that mother would put her on the ship knowing any of this, so... Thank you! Thank you, Zach! Thank you, Zach. Okay. Okay, so she's a threat in that regard, gotcha. I get it now. She's a... okay. Now it makes sense. It was just a different problem being taken care of with her. Oh, man. Okay, we now know his true motivations. Oh, don't break that thing. That could be pretty damn useful. I still wouldn't have broken that. Shut up, I'm talking. I think he's accepted that. Oh, here we go! Ow, that was a hit, and he's one of the strongest people here, so that's gotta hurt. Man, it's been a tense episode. Definitely a step up from that prison cell. Getting to ride a chocobo on a foreign planet with your friends. Although I still don't think you guys are going to go back to your exact home because of all the time shenanigans, but still. You gotta go back. Oh, Yunhua stepping up. She has changed the most, probably. Although Ulgar and Kitoi are up there. Your environment matters too. There's plenty we can do if we work together, Shars. It's exact, the only one that's not crying. Well, Ulgar too. Oh, we have another one. Oh no. Did not expect that! Oh god. What are you planning here, Shars? I'm pretty worried now. If we didn't break yours, maybe you could have disabled it, Kanata. That makes one of us. Because unless he's planning on sacrificing himself, I don't get it. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Is he really gonna go through with this? Like, we haven't lost a member yet, so Kanata definitely not gonna just let this happen. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is really risky. Although he might bait, yeah, Sharson is stopping it to save him. That's the only thing I could think this would accomplish. Because Shars can clearly disable it. But still, if you didn't break the thing, Kanata, you could have just done it yourself. Still gonna harp on that. Oh, wow, yeah, I forgot he could do that. Lucky Gravity shoes. Anti-gravity shoes. Doing work. Ah, secret technique too. Finally, it came in handy again. Yeah, that's still a problem. Hit the button or something. Yeah, threaten the thing, Kanata. That'll work. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. This will put us right back next to Dead Earth. Hopefully he didn't just lose an arm. I think he might have lost an arm there. Oh god, he definitely did. Oh god. That's gotta hurt. Oh, that's gotta really hurt. So much for that athletic thing. Oh, damn. Oh god. Well, now the arm's lost in space. Oh god. How good is your medical ability again, Kitori? It's looking to be a pretty good tech. Yeah, don't bleed out too much, Kanata. Yeah, you better give me some of that royal money for this. Buy me a ship, Charles. Which you can't do if you're dead. Wow. Wow. Wow, Kanata. He just seriously lost an arm this episode. I mean, at least we made up and everything, but still, that is rough. Oh man. I say this a lot, but I wasn't ready for this episode either. Because his arm was in the thing, and I was getting pretty worried, and then Shars turns it off, but I was thinking, wait a minute, the arm's already over there, like, is it just gonna be cut off? And then, as soon as I heard his screams of pain, it was clear what it had happened. Oh man. And we got a lot of answers this episode. Almost every answer I wanted. I mean, the only thing up in the air is what the situation will be like when we get back. Because of all the time stuff that I mentioned, there's no way we go back and it's where we left before, right? There's just no way. Like, I don't fully understand the time situation, but there's no way it's going to be where we left off from. That much I can almost guarantee. There's just too much time anomaly things here. So, no telling what we'll actually go to. So, that was the 11th episode of Kanata no Astra. And, yeah, we certainly got some answers. Okay, so, before with the whole biology class mystery, Shars gave us some backstory, which seemed to be a lot of lies in that. Which I kind of figured there would be some lies once we got to the end of last episode. I figured he probably wasn't being completely honest about some of those things. But some of it clearly was based on reality, like Sarah falling, you know. But she didn't fall and get knocked out or whatever and get into a coma. She just fell and died, straight up. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty awful. So, yeah, he is the clone of the king. The king made the clone for this pretty much the same reason everybody else made their clones in this show, to eventually use as a vessel. The only difference is the king was actually upfront about it, and at the time made a comment about how I'm not sure if it's better or worse to be honest or not, but it's probably worse to be honest because that you don't even get the illusion of, you know, living your life. You basically know there's no purpose in your existence. You just kind of exist until it's time to stop existing. Like, that's probably worse. That is probably worse. It's really hard to say for sure, though, but that definitely sounds worse. And Sarah was not a commoner girl that he, you know, befriended or whatever. That's not what happened at all. Sarah is the princess, like, daughter of the king, thus sort of daughter to him, who's a clone of the king, but kind of like a sister to him, and all that. I probably should have expected that, but figuring this out was pretty reliant on knowing that Charles was a liar. And I have a bad habit of taking what people say at face value in anime and stuff, so I was never going to get that. So, but yeah, Sarah, she seemed quite nice. I did notice that in the picture she looked older, but all you could really get from that was that, you know, Arias was probably a clone of Sarah, which made sense even with his fake story, because, yeah, if you have a daughter that's comatose or whatever, making a clone of her that's not, that's pretty useful. So, you know, that it still made sense even with that. And, yeah, Sarah's pretty much against the cloning, because, yeah, clones are people too. You can't just kill them and treat them like a vessel. Like, it's not okay, but they made one of her anyway, because, you know, it's not that hard. You just got to get DNA from someone, which you get so many different ways, you know, scratch, hair, you know, whatever. So it's really hard to stop, but she did stop it from happening a second time, so I guess it is possible. So, yeah, Sarah. This whole time, Charles has known that was Sarah, or Arias Sarah's clone. And he's pretty much kept it bottled up for a while. Like, he knew since the airport or whatever, and it must take a lot of willpower to not just, like unleash a whole bunch of emotion, be like, oh my god, Arias, it's you, I've missed you, I love you, just, I don't know, hug you. Like, it would be kind of hard to hold all that back, and just interact with her like she's, you know, barely an acquaintance. That's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to do. But yeah, he did clearly show special treatment for her, something Keith already picked up on, and that's definitely makes a lot of sense, for sure. Even though he didn't interact with her much, you know, he interacted with someone that looks exactly like her, so that does carry over, for sure. And yeah, just the girl that's Arias' mother was just like the handmaiden or whatever of hers, so yeah, that all has been explained now, how she got to be with her, and also how she got on the ship. Apparently, it wasn't because of the mother or anything like that, so she is definitely a unique case amongst the group. I mean, Charles is technically a unique case as well, but I think Arias is especially a unique case because, yeah, the mother is not the one that sent her there to die. It was strings being pulled behind the scenes because she is a threat to the ascension of the throne. Because she is biologically, like, yeah, the king's daughter or whatever. She could take that. So this is meant to get rid of her for that. So the real meat of it is a similar reason. Getting rid of someone that would be an inconvenience, but it's definitely different, but the end result is similar enough. So we got to see her get the little things on her head. That was great. The assassination was really rough, though. Like, as soon as I saw somebody rustling through the bushes and she was near the cliff, it wasn't too hard to put two and two together. This was it. Pretty good camera work on the push itself. You know, from her perspective, seeing him just rush towards her, or no, from his perspective, rushing towards her, whatever, and just pushed her off. That's just horrible. She did not deserve that. She was such a good girl, you know, as opposed to the kind of scummy king and stuff. Just was horrible. Yeah, hopefully Arias can take the throne. I'm not sure how feasible that is for reasons I stated, but it'd be great. And Charles, yeah, he never had a great life, really, but it was made significantly worse when he was just suddenly locked up in a cell for a year, and then finally let back out. And that makes a lot of sense why Charles was so kind of weird. Like, people kind of pointed out a couple times just his weirdness. Like, he was like, oh my god, animals and stuff, this is so great. People kind of took that as a little bit weird, so his behavior, but his behavior makes a lot of sense. If he lived the past year like this and suddenly he's able to actually go outside, visit places, make friends, hang out with friends, you know, adventure. Like, if you suddenly go from that to that, it has a pretty strong effect on you, I would imagine. Like, while other people were probably feeling pretty depressed about the situation, for Charles, I mean, this was a pretty big step up, so definitely would have a bit of a different reaction to some of this stuff. So, yeah, a lot of stuff makes sense now, for sure. It just really was, one of the saddest lines was this one. Now I can finally put this life to use. Just give this boy a head pat or something. And Arias, you know, obviously she's not her biological mother, but Arias did live a pretty happy, love-filled life, you know, here. With a lot of cute flashbacks and stuff, strawberry cake and the flower, the presents, and putting on her head. It was just so cute. So, yeah, we also just got a pretty good understanding of Charles' motivation, which is to just bring Arias back. And yeah, also explanation about why the thing kept stopping, because I didn't want to get Arias sucked into it. So if I really thought about it, I probably could have figured that out with the last one, because that is when it stopped, when he ran into Arias. That is when it stopped. I just kind of assumed because I saw it before, but I don't know if that involved Arias or not. The second usage of it, it might have gotten too close to her for comfort, but it was much less noticeable than the third time. So I probably could have figured that out if I was a smarter person, but you know, it is what it is. So things got pretty heated, pretty tense, pretty emotional, a little bit violent, very sad, a lot of crying, except for the cool ones like Zach and Olga. They keep it together. But yeah, of course, the usual suspects cry. And yeah, Charles just unleashes the ball to sacrifice himself, which Kanata picked up on pretty quickly, and I guess I sort of did too, but I don't know, I just thought that was too obvious and figured maybe it was something a little bit different, but no, it was just a simple matter of wanting to just end himself. Which Kanata was not going to let happen. That's been a big part of Kanata's character this whole show. Just you don't let your comrades die. As far as motivation and characteristics, that is Kanata's biggest one, so it makes sense he would do what he needs to. Unfortunately, doing it this time, he did sacrifice something pretty big, his arm, which means it's going to be significantly difficult to help people next time. Like, he's relied a lot on his physical ability, and now he's officially physically handicapped. That's a pretty big problem. I mean, it did lead to the good line about having Charles be his right hand or whatever, but still, that's doesn't change the fact that it is a big problem. It was an excellent jump over the sphere, though. But man, it looks like it hurts. Yeah, luckily the suit could do that, you know, tightening thing to minimize blood loss. That's good. Good thing we have some pretty good tech in this universe. He also has something to tie over, it looks like. But I could have swore it's sucking in as well, so I think it may have been a little bit of both. So yeah, just great episode for sure. I thought it was pretty fantastically well done. Everything that happened, everything that was revealed makes sense. You know, doesn't seem like anything was pulled out of nowhere. Everything is very believable. I'm pretty happy with this. This is pretty great. Like I said, now, I mean, we're down to the last episode, so it makes sense that most of the mysteries are solved. The last one is, what are we going to return home to? It's the biggest mystery. Different timeline, different time, 100 years into the future maybe. Like, what exactly are we going to get home to? That's the biggest question. And it's something that they actually haven't commented on much themselves, really. Like, I don't know if it's just something they don't want to think about or what, but yeah, it is something to think about. So, yeah, I think that's everything I got to say in the episode. Like I said, just good stuff for sure. This is a really good show. I don't know why the show isn't more popular. Like, it's not unpopular exactly, but until I started reacting to it, I never really heard much about it at all. Like, I think before I started reacting to it, there was literally one person that left a comment on a video saying, hey, are you going to react to Kanata and Astra? Like, several months ago, probably while it was airing. Somebody said that, but that was like only a one-time thing. I really haven't seen much discussion of this show anywhere, really. So, yeah, not sure why it's not a bit more popular. It's, like, there's really no problems with it. Like, this is a pretty solid, well above average, well-executed show. Like, I don't quite get it. But yeah, we'll see how it ends. I'm not sure how we're going to end this off in one episode, really. Like, yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to end it off, because we obviously don't have time to really get back home and, like, integrate a new life, right? So it might just be a quick, we got home, the end, guys. Like, we see this ship go enter the Astra's atmosphere, and then it just ends, like we don't see anything of the planet. They might do something like that, because we are pretty low on time. I don't know. Because we can't really do all that other stuff, like Olgar getting revenge, you know, his country, well, his political situation thing. Like, we don't possibly have time to do all that, do we? Like, Kanata confronting his father, like, I mean, everyone confronting their parents, really. Like, we can't really do any of that. We don't have time for that. Although I don't know if they'd want to go back to their parents anyway, aside from Arias, who definitely would. But, yeah, the place they're going back to, I don't think their parents are going to be there. I think we're just going to go back home, and it'll not be the place we left. That's still what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. I could be fundamentally misunderstanding something, very likely, but yeah. We'll see how it ends next time. I don't really want the show to end, because it's been a pretty epic, amazing ride, but it's got to, eventually, unfortunately. So, we'll see how they do it next time. So, thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.